us now is Ellie. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm having so much fun here.
So we are here at the Create booth, feeling all kinds of creativity going on.
Always.
But you're creative with food. Tell us about your specialty and how you create healthy, nutritious recipes.
Absolutely. So I am a culinary nutritionist. I'm a registered dietitian and a chef. My show is on Create, and it's all about hitting the sweet spot where delicious and healthy meet, which I think all of us really want to do. And it's what I do as a chef and a nutritionist. And it's called Ellie's Real Good Food. And it's just delicious recipes that you'll love and that are easy, because we don't want to stress. We don't want to spend too much time in the kitchen. We want to just enjoy life, enjoy good food.
Absolutely. So now, which came first, the chicken or the egg? So which came first, Ellie, your podcast, your TV show, or you being a nutritionist?
Oh my gosh. So I studied nutrition as an undergraduate in college, and then I got into the media and culinary world when I graduated. My first show was on the Food Network, and then I've been writing also. I write for the Washington Post. So I'm just really doing all kinds of stuff in the media. You name the media, I'm in it.
Now, are any of your recipes handed down from generation to generation? And I would like to know, who was that inspiration for you in the kitchen?
You know, my grandmother was a huge inspiration to me. My mom was a full-time teacher and went to school at night, and she didn't really cook that much, and it was really at my grandma's house that I really had that home cooking experience. So my grandma, I would say, is my big influence, but I think my biggest influence is New York City.
Okay. And you were born here, right?
Yes.
Uniquely. That's amazing.
Born in the Bronx, grew up in Queens, and growing up in Queens with a family that really loved food, I got to experience food from all different cultures, and it really influenced, my food, because I pull from all those different cultural influences as well as my family influences, but at the same time make it really accessible for everyone.
I love that. Now, do you still have your grandmother's rolling pin or some of her spoons or a spatula?
I have her little, her dishes. Her little dishes, and I love them because back in my grandma's day, a dish for dessert was small.
Yes.
Like, it kind of reminds
Portions.
you.
Good, healthy portions.
Yes, it reminds you in a very beautiful way of what portions are supposed to be like.
I like that. And you're also going to be doing something like a marathon or something like that?
Yeah, so on Create, we do these marathon weeks, and there's the Sweets for the Sweet Marathon for Valentine's Day, starting on February 10th, and my show is going to be on there, where one of the features of that show is my pear brown Betty. Ever hear of a brown Betty?
I have heard of about. Now, which pear do you use for that? Because there's so many different varieties of pear.
Yeah, and you can honestly use any kind of variety. The thing is, you want it to be firm, ripe.
Okay.
So, but really, you can use whatever you find.
Okay, so it's Create. Here we are at createtv.com. They can find out more about you, your show. Congratulations. Happy journeys. I have my travel hat on today. Where's your favorite destination to travel to, Ellie?
Oh, goodness. Well, I have to say, I'm heading to Australia in a couple of weeks.
Australia?
I've never been there before, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of my favorites.
I think a Vegemite sandwich is in her future. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Great. All the fans here?
Yes, everybody loves you. People have waiting in line to get a chance to meet you, to celebrate you. What do you think about this year's travel show?
I think it's buzzing, and it's great to see people back, ready to go, to travel, to enjoy life.
Now, I have to ask you, and I asked the same question of Ellie Krieger, was there a family member that inspired you to be the chef that you are today? Was it your grandmother, grandfather? What was it?
I think it always goes down to the roots. Food, is a family kind of, you pass it down the line. And in my case, it was my grandmother, actually. I grew up, my grandmother provided the food. She had all the animals, she had the garden or whatever, and I was her little helper. So milking the goats, getting the potatoes, catching, collecting the tomatoes, all of that, I was involved with that. And that sort of set a precedence for me, a basis for understanding food from whence it comes from.
And especially when you talk about that sustainableness, right? That healthy, fresh thing right out of the ground.
Yes, absolutely. Because that was, I'm talking about 1950, 51, 52. And then I came in America as an immigrant in 1956. And, things were different here in America. The food was modern. But I'm so glad to see that now it's going back to that point where we really appreciate food, where it comes, the earth, keeping it clean, good food, honest food, and that's the way we should go.
And being thankful for that. Thankful for those simple ingredients that can make a delicious, healthy, nutritious meal for someone.
But you know, we're all chef, we all want our stars and whatever, but it's not about us. It's about those ingredients. It's about those ingredients being the right, the pure, the honest ingredients that really nurture us and feed us.
I couldn't agree more. And tell us about Create. How much do you love Create?
I love Create. You know, I've been 25 years on PBS. I was first discovered by Julia Child. She came to my restaurant for Lidia, and she wanted to learn how to make risotto, and we became friends. And then I got on her show, and that's how I started my show on PBS, and that's 25 years ago.
You're both such inspirations. Like, I did get a chance to watch the film about her, you know, and the way that you chop and the way that you have to hold your knuckles down and things like that. You can learn a lot from one another.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, being straightforward, she was also a cook that wanted, a chef actually, that wanted to teach the audience. She wasn't about showing off. And I think that's what we need. And PBS is all about that, teaching.
Yes, I absolutely love that. It's public broadcasting system. Create. It's so much fun to tune in and know that you're going to get like a healthy meal, right? And you're going to learn and get healthy content, right? Because that also feeds our soul.
You're going to take something away from the show. Not just half an hour watching, but you're going to learn something.
Now, speaking of learning something, is there one tip that you could share with me that is a must-do in the kitchen? What should I have? What ingredient, Lidia, is so important that I must have? Or tool?
For me is good olive oil,
Okay.
good virgin olive oil, a good sharp knife, a good wooden spoon, and fresh herbs. You know?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So your show, it's all about your bare feet and dancing all over the world. At what age did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 3 years old, and I haven't stopped since. My nickname growing up was Tutto Pepe, which means all pepper in Italian, because I could never keep my feet still. And that's how I am. And if you ever watch the show, I
have watched your show, and let me tell you something, I absolutely love it. Because you take us to a different destination and you do the local dance.
Yeah, it's the way I connect with people. Dance is a universal language. Music is a universal language. And what I found was, if I couldn't speak the local language, which I can't in most of the world, I would dance with people and all these doors would open up. So I'm invited into someone's home for a family meal or invited to someone's wedding. And that was what the dance brought, not just learning about the culture, but these connections with people and friendships. I like to say I make new friends by dancing with strangers.
I agree. And dancing with strangers. So could you teach me something? Like, what could we do?
Sure.
Okay.
So my family's Italian.
Okay, so is mine.
Yes, so there we go. So in our Italian culture, we do the tarantella. This is what because I want to share my culture.
Io penso che sono innamorato di lei. Cornuto! E carcamato, andiamo insieme.
There you go. And it's
Oh
so
my
much
gosh.
fun, right?
So much fun.
And that's how I get to travel the world.
You know, same thing for me. It's been such a blessing. So my TV show was divinely gifted. I was sleeping. I dreamt the whole thing in color. Same thing? Yes. Okay, so I woke up and I said, what was that? And I wrote everything down I could remember. No!
Same.
Okay.
Same. Pinterest. No, I literally woke myself up in the middle of the night, saw what bare feet is as a projection from my eyeballs.
Yes.
Wrote it down, forgot about it the next day, looked at my bedside table, was like, what was that? Oh my God, it was a dream. Oh my God. Same.
I think we're related. Look how similar we look. I don't know. It could
We're
be-
sisters.
We're sisters, soul sisters. You know, because you're bringing communities together and you're teaching them about dance, and it's just an opportunity.
I'm
Yes.
learning the dance. I'm never the expert. I am never the expert. I am a perpetual student. But what I love is that I can bring that experience to our viewers in our show, and I hope it inspires them to, whether they dance or not, to dig a little deeper in a culture and try something new and just connect with people.
Yeah.
Our show isn't about the drone shots and the beautiful hotels. It's about the people that we meet everywhere we go.
And bare feet.
And sometimes I'm wearing shoes, sometimes I'm barefoot.
Stay tuned for more. We're truly living it up, where dreams become a reality. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.